What's up, everyone, and welcome into the Buffalo Sports Collective. It is Monday, December 23rd, 2024. As always, I am PK alongside my co-host Phil for episode 320. I am back on camera. Have no idea what happened. We still haven't figured it out. It's a little scary that we have no idea why the camera failed, but we're back. We're in the holiday season. It is Christmas Eve once again. We started this 2 years ago, maybe, when we had an episode that was 2 episodes away, or
it was like 2 or 3, I think.
days. Yeah, it might have been Eve, something like that. But yeah, it's Christmas Eve once again. We're gonna jam pack this show filled with some fun, festive things. Really, just towards the end. We got the Bills game to talk about. We got the couple things checked off the Sabres Bingo Board.
Good.
We got 4 games to talk about in the NLL, and then we got a fun holiday top 10 movie draft. Well, not even a movie draft. We're going to work together to build a collective BSC top 10 movies, and then you guys all out on the social medias and everywhere else can just rip us to shreds why we're wrong, which ones we missed, which ones are too high, which ones are too low. Just the fun parts of the podcasting world and social media world. But Phil, how are you?
Especially when the Bandits are on bye.
Yeah, that's kind of a big reason why we're doing this, is because our main segment is non-existent. But last show I asked how your Christmas shopping was doing. You said you were pretty much done. I got everything but one gift card done in the last couple days. You really used the day off on Friday to our advantage. But yeah, it feels good to be sitting here Monday, December 23rd, pretty much done Christmas shopping. Hopefully next year I'm in a better situation to be able to do it a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I just have, I got the final gift. It's wrapped. I got one gift card I got to sneak in to add to another gift. I got a gift plus a gift card. I keep forgetting to get the gift card because I already have a gift, so mentally it's checked off, but it's not. And then I have to wrap the wife's gifts. She's going to visit the in-laws Christmas Eve, so I'm hoping either that night or Christmas morning before I head over to my brother's for breakfast. I'm going to wrap her gifts and put them under the tree. Right now, we have all the family gifts under the tree, and there's a lot of gifts that are going to be leaving the house and are not for either of us, and it's depressing seeing how many gifts. There's a lot of gifts under the tree, and we don't get any of them, but it is the season of giving, and I honestly do really, really love giving gifts. At this stage, I like trying to find things that people don't ask for, but I know they're still going to like, and I like watching them opening them. And it's I don't know, it's nice. I am at the point where I do enjoy giving probably a little more than getting, because there's only so much at this point you can get. It's not too much. It's not like when you're a little younger and like that new game just came out, or that new system just came out. You're open for a Game Boy or a game or something. Anything electronic based, pretty much. Nowadays, we got most of it, and we do have jobs where we can buy things if we would like them. So it makes making your list a little bit tougher. So at this point, I think giving has kind of shifted to my favorite part of it. But there were still a few things on the list that I am hoping to get.
That's fair. Yeah, I didn't really build a list. I think the only thing really on my list of things that I requested was in the springtime we're going to be building a nice backyard fence for the dogs and the fosters that come through the house. And it's a pretty big property we have. We're not going to fence in the entire property because 11 acres to fence in would be impossible. But we got a decent-sized actual backyard. So it's going to be a big backyard for the dogs to run around, and we need lighting back there, so I asked for a lot of 4x4 lights that sit on top of 4x4 posts that are just solar paneled ones.
Yep.
So the whole thing should be lit up, and they're not cheap, so I figured ask for that, and then I'll cover all the wood and the fencing for my own cost. And then when in doubt, Home Depot and Lowe's gift cards go long ways when you're remodeling a house. They really do. It'll go a decent way. But yeah, for everybody out there, hopefully you have a wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate out there. Hopefully, it is a splendid time with you and your loved ones out there. We're going to be doing so here at the BSC. So, from the BSC to all of you out there, happy holiday season. Hopefully, it's healthy and a fun one. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at Buffalo Sports Collective, and on X and Blue Sky at Buffalo Sports Co. Don't forget to follow our channel wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at buffalosportscollective.com. You can check out our store on our link tree on all our social media sites, or at the top of the website by hitting the shop tab. You can represent the good old BSC on the go and look for the time breakdowns in the description of the show. So if you want to be one of those negative Nancys, you want to be the Grinch, you can just skip past this whole intro and find whatever you're looking for. We'll start with the Buffalo Bills. I knew it was going to be an ugly game after two wonderful games back-to-back in domes, and then you get the cold weather. And yes, I'm going to blame the cold weather because I don't really care otherwise. 21-21 or 24-21 victory over the Patriots. Allen was not himself. The offense was not themselves. The defense struggled to start the game. 14-7 at halftime. We were hoping Buffalo would double dip right before because they got the second half kickoff. They did not, but it did not stop this team from defeating a far inferior opponent. They got the job done. Like we always say, they don't ask how, they ask how many, and now they're at 12. Allen, 16-29, 154, 1-1. The one interception, just consider it a punt. It was a beautiful punt down at the 1. 6 for 30 running, and then Cook kind of took this one over in the second half. He was electric on that monster run. And that other monster run came in the first half, but he got the offense going in the second half with the monster run. 11 for 101, 3 for 26, and 1 in the second half. A nice play design by Joe Brady to get James Cook the receiving touchdown. Phil, what are your thoughts on the very ugly game that was? And thank God there's only two more possibly ugly games because Jets in New England, once again, I like facing really good teams because the games are fun to watch. This one was not that fun to watch.
Yeah, I was worried about these next three. A lot of this, I mean, you go into these games and, I mean, look at their schedule before this. They had the Lions Super Bowl favorite, the Rams pushing for playoffs, San Fran, and the Chiefs. I mean, those were your last four games. Those are all really exciting playoff teams, playoff atmosphere, have to win them, big games. These extra games are just very blah. I wasn't worried about them losing this game, even when they were down 14-0. Figured they would figure it out and do whatever they needed to win. But I also don't expect them. I don't know how much the weather affected it. I know you want to push that, but I feel like it's just really hard.
Man, your hands get frozen.
I mean, it is true. It does seem.
A lot of fumbles.
I mean, just walking outside, put my garbage away with no gloves on, it was really cold. But yeah, it was just a game that I assume the Bills aren't going to get up for. These next two, I assume the same thing. It's just teams that aren't in the playoffs who are trying to kind of look to their next year, their future. And, I mean, obviously they want to play spoiler as much as possible. But, like Josh Allen, I mean, no offense, I'm not saying he purposely did bad in this game, but he's not going to go hero ball Josh Allen against the Patriots. I'm sure he probably just was like, all right, let's go out there, do just enough to win. That's all we need to do and move on to the next one. And that's exactly what happened. They got down early, figured out, what they needed to do to win. And that's it. And then they move on to the next one. I just don't know if these next three games you're really going to get excited for. I don't see them putting up 40 points because all of them should be gross weather games. They're all in the north. And, I mean, they're going to be cold and blistery. And I feel like their Bills are just going to keep doing this the rest of the year, just doing enough to win, hoping they can put it together, and then focusing on playoffs. I don't think you're going to get any more 40-point games out of this team. It's just boring games to end your season and just kind of finish the year strong, hopefully winning all of them.
Yeah, and you got the job done. The biggest thing is health. And, Josh Allen, once again, he claims he hit his funny bone again, but, it's twice now where his whole arm goes numb. I think a lot of that has to do with the cold because they're like, yeah, he hit his elbow on the fall, and you're watching it again. It's like he never hit his elbow. It's something. I'm not doubting it's something with his elbow. It wasn't from the fall. He never hit his elbow on the fall. I think it was something to do with the helmet, but whatever. The biggest criticism I have, and it's not even about the defense, it is the decisions they made on defense, how to start the game. Why Balin Spector is even still on this team is beyond me. One, I mean, Sean McDermott always preaches, availability is the best thing. He can't stay on the field. He gets hurt all the time. The Bills got gifted him actually. I'm not trying to, say it's a good thing he got hurt because I'm never wishing injury upon anybody. But if he didn't get hurt and hurt his calf once again, do they make the switch back to Dorian Williams? This defense looked completely different. I'm not saying Dorian Williams is this end all great wide linebackers, but he's been playing very well all season in place of Matt Milano. And I don't know how it was. I don't know if it was because of this week where he was limited a lot, but Balin Spector was limited a while back as well. But once Dorian Williams got back into that lineup and it was halftime and they brought him back out and he was playing alongside Terrell Bernard, that defense just looked different. Like they caused, 3 or 4 turnovers in the second half, and Dorian Williams was in on multiple of them. He's just a far superior, better player than Balin Spector is. Balin Spector is at best a special teams player, and that's not a shot at him whatsoever. It's the caliber of player he is. I don't know what he has on this organization that he remains a consistent figure with them. But it's been years and years and years now that he is not a starting caliber linebacker in the NFL, let alone in the Buffalo Bills. We saw that primetime example on a Patriots team that struggled on offense all year long. In the whole first half, they were picking up third downs like nothing. And I know the defense, Buffalo Bills defense, has been prone all year long to give up third downs, and turns into first downs, but it was just it was ugly watching Balin Spector. He couldn't get off blocks. He was out of position multiple times. It was just maybe one good play, and he was rushing the passer. And beyond that, it was just you were hoping, why is Dorian Williams not in this game at this point? That was the biggest concern I had. The defense righted itself in the second half, but I think a lot of that had to do with Dorian Williams coming in and playing linebacker over Balin Spector.
Yeah, and we've liked Dorian Williams all year long. I mean, the biggest criticism I had of him is that he's more of a rotational, solid linebacker than he is a true everyday starter, massive impact kind of linebacker. But in comparison to a Spector, he's really good. And he's a great rotational, get him out there. He's going to do well. I just didn't love him in the Matt Milano type role because even, was it Bernard who did he get injured for a little bit? And it was like
Yes.
the Dorian Williams show. And like at that point, like that's when I criticize him. He's not that good. Like he's not good enough to be your number one linebacker, captain of the defense, running everything. That was too much to put on him.
Yes.
But as a secondary linebacker or a rotational linebacker, he's a very solid player. And he's exactly what you need right now, especially with Milano getting injured again. And like you said, to put Spector out there instead of him when Williams literally led the defense for a little while there were injuries on the defensive side doesn't really make a lot of sense. And hopefully they saw that as well and made the switch at half, which is good that they didn't stick with it. I know, like you said, the injury, but hopefully moving forward, injury or not, they see their mistake. And like you said, I don't know why they seem to have something for Spector so much. It's weird. And then Elam was the other issue again. I keep hoping he's going to turn it around and turn into something. He's not. He's really been an issue with penalties, and he has been the entire time he's been a professional football player. He has not learned how to control that, and until he does, he's just not going to be what they need. But my goodness, I mean, you talked about health. They need to get healthier, and luckily they have games coming up that they don't necessarily need the defense, so hopefully everybody can rest the next couple of weeks that they need to rest and need for playoffs, and they can get them back healthy and ready for playoffs. But right now that team needs to get healthy because they are going to be torn apart if this is the roster they're running into playoffs.
Yeah, Elam's flashed a few times where you see why he was a
Right.
first-round draft pick, but beyond that, it's just you see why he's a healthy scratch most weeks. And I will say, I think a lot of the lineup decisions were made because of the opponent they were facing. I think if
Agreed.
if Kansas City had lost yesterday on Saturday, instead of winning, and Pittsburgh had won instead of losing, I think you see a Hamlin. I think you see a Rapp. I think you see a Douglas in this one because the number 1 seed's even more in grasp now, and the number 2 seeds in more jeopardy if you do fall to the New England Patriots. But because Pittsburgh's lost, which is 2 times now, I'm 2 for 2. But if because that situation happened, Buffalo is more entrenched than that number 2 seed. It's going to be very, very, very difficult to get the number 1 seed. It's still alive, but Kansas City's got to go 0-2. Buffalo's got to go 2-0. There's a chance, but it's very slim. It seems like they're very, very locked into the number 2 seed, which is coming from where we thought they were going to be in the offseason. Not looking past that at all, but I think a lot of the lineup decisions were, hey, give these guys extra rests. Number 2 seeds pretty much locked up right at this point. I think we can get this one done, and they did it 24-21. So on the next show, which will be Friday, we'll take a little sneak peek at what the AFC does look like because Jets coming to town, 1 o'clock on Sunday. Please let it stay at 1 o'clock. No more of this flexing stuff into later times because it's 8:40 on Sunday, and we probably could have started this an hour and 40 minutes ago. But, alas, they push it to 4:25. Wasn't prepared for that. Wasn't ready for it. Didn't even know it was happening until me and Brooke were at lunch on Friday, and she goes, "Yeah, the game's at 4:25." I was like, "No, it's not. It's at 1 o'clock." She goes, "No, they moved it." I was like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "How do I know something you don't?" But yeah, 4:25 today. Just keep it at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock Sundays, prime time football time. But we'll move on to something that's not prime time, and will never be prime time. And we created a game to make sure it's not prime time. Sabres. 13 straight losses. Now they're approaching on the record of 19 straight. Friday versus Toronto. Gross. I was seeing some pictures of people in bags on their heads and palm trees and loved it. 6-3 loss. Paterka, Samuelson, Power were the goal scorers. UPL pulled in the second, 9 of 13 saves. Reimer came in 14 of 15. Shots were 29-27 in favor of Toronto. 0 for 2 on the power play. That was their 12th loss. And then Saturday, even though Lindy Ruff said they deserved a better outcome, you don't because you stink. 3-1. Paterka was the only goal scorer. Reimer started for whatever reason, 16 of 18 saves, 20-19 in favor of the Sabres in shots. 1 for 3 on the power play, 13th straight loss, Phil. And in those 2 games, we had 2 things checked off our bingo board. You had 1, I had 1. I believe you chose the bottom of the bingo board. So you had team outshoots opponent. You got it by 1, 20-19. Congratulations. And then I had a power play goal scored in the first game. So, whoopee. We both checked 1 off. I have 2 in a row right now, though, Phil. My free spot is right next to that score power play. Your team outshoots opponent is in the top right corner. So technically you have 2 on a possibility in a row with the free square in the middle. But yeah, it's looking good so far. Bingo board. Still got a few games to go in the season. So we got a ways to go. Phil, this team's out by Christmas. It's pathetic. They're last in the NHL. I don't know what else to say besides I'm getting bingo first, man.
Yeah, I did see they have 13-game losing streaks in the Cap era. The Sabres have 3. Congratulations. No other team has more than 1. So they're good. They're a pretty good team. Like if losing was what your goal was, they're amazing. They're one of the best teams to ever do it. I don't know. Like it's. I mean, I don't want to get into a huge rant because I'm over it. But I feel like the Bills' 17 seasons compared to the Sabres going on 14 now.
It's worse.
It's much worse. Like I feel like the Bills like was annoying for draft pick purposes because they were never bad except a few times. But for the most part, they always figured right around 500, just missing playoffs. We're still in it pretty late in the season. They just needed this wild outcome always on like the last week. Like, well, if these 6 teams lose and they could do this and they can get in. And it was interesting. Like, you won games and you were in the playoff hunt, usually pretty late. Like, they would always flash. We haven't had to deal with it for a long time as Bills fans, but they would flash that who's, in the hunt. And the Bills were usually there at the bottom, but they were usually there. Like, all right, we're in the hunt. That sounds great.
And they're still in the hunt until, like, November, like, towards the second half of the season.
Right. They were always, like, they were right there. They were right there. They didn't have enough to do it. And then, again, it would stink because their draft pick would be right in the middle, which is not what you want as a Bills fan. But the Sabres don't have any of that. Like, they just have zero excitement, zero anything. Like, it's not like they're just missing playoffs where it's interesting. They're so bad and so uninteresting. And our buddy had a very passionate little post he made on Facebook about the Sabres, and he said it was like losing a childhood friend because you used to just be so into this team, watching this team, being all about them, learning about the players, knowing about the Amrics, knowing about the Pirates back in the day, just knowing everything about this team, who's getting called up, who can be traded. You know, there was just so much into it that you and I follow with the Bandits, and everyone follows with the Bills now. But, like, that's just completely gone. Like, there's no interest. There's nothing that they could really do at this point to bring the fans back and be interested again. It's just depressing is about all it is.
Yeah, and what I talked about multiple times is there's a whole generation of fans that are not going to know the Buffalo Sabres, and he has 3 young kids.
You mentioned
that
it as
he's
well,
not
yeah.
going to be able to bring up as Sabres fans, because why would you want to root for a team like this? Phil, they haven't won a game since before Thanksgiving, the 23rd of November. Like,
they're going on a full month.
They have four more games in December. If they don't win one of those 4, not only will you be on a 17-game losing streak, but you'll have gone the entire month of December plus without winning. Like, their last win was when I was talking about them. Hey, you got a 3-game winning streak. You went West Coast. You won all 3. This is a different team.
I remember
you don't
those days.
lose back-to-back games. Like they hadn't lost back-to-back games since the beginning of November. Now they've lost 13 in a row. Like it's I don't know. Like it's their goal scoring's disappeared. They've scored 1 goal in their past 2 or 3 games. Like, they scored 3 versus Toronto. Whoop-de-doo. They scored 3 versus Toronto the one before. They lost in a shootout versus Detroit. It's just they got they're heading to the Islanders on Monday. So tonight, 7:30. They're probably going to lose that one, probably like 2-1. And then if they do not beat Chicago on Friday, you are tied with it for last in the NHL right now. You're going to St. Louis, you're going to Dallas, you're going to Colorado, and you can set the record facing your buddy Jack Eichel in Las Vegas with 19 straight losses. Like, if you do not win, they're not winning tonight. Like, it's beyond happening. It's like right now the most excitement is, 1, will they get a win before the new year? And 2, are you going to get a win before you set the record for the longest amount of losses in a row? It's just, this is where we've come as a team, as an organization. It's just, that's about as much as I want to talk about this team, Phil. I have nothing else to add.
Already too much.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll get some more things off the bingo board. I'm trying not to get super negative, but yeah, we'll.
That's all we got.
Let's get into something that's more fun, though, Phil. Our sponsor of the show is Tap That Tap Room. They got a lot going on. They had a lot going on, and they got more stuff on tap. See what I did there? Coming forward, Phil, Tap That Tap Room. Take it away.
Tap That Tap Room is at 363 Delaware Street in Tonawanda, New York. They are Buffalo's first women-owned self-pour bar featuring 30 consistently rotating taps, offering a variety of sours, ciders, seltzers, malt beverages, and, of course, beers.
And let's get into a few of those because the holidays are here. Let's get some festivities going and get a little festive with what's on tap at Tap That Tap Room. Sleigh Rider from Flying Bison Brewery, that's on tap. It's a blonde golden ale. Sounds absolutely delicious. We have the Holiday Ale from Resurgence Brewing Company. It's a dark ale. And then for other options, this would be my option, is the Caramel Apple Cider from Down East Cider House. It's a sweet cider. That would be the one I would dart to if I were you. What's also is amazing is something that they do that not very many other tap rooms do or breweries do, is they give you the lineup of what's coming up on deck. So if there's nothing on the 30, which seems impossible, if there's nothing of the 30 varieties that they have on tap right now, you can just click that what's on deck tab and see what's coming up. So if there's nothing, like, again, if for some reason if 30 beers and ciders and ales are not good enough for you, you can see, okay, there's something coming up that I really want to try, and then you keep an eye on for when that goes on tap. But they got plenty of other activities coming up. Like we said, the watch party on Saturday. Hopefully you entered into the contest to get 2 free tickets. We just posted a reel of that late Sunday, trying to get any last people that hadn't done it yet. But for other posted events, including that viewing party, check out their Facebook page and find out what's on tap and what's on deck besides what I just listed check out tapthattaproom.com. Week 4 is in the books.
Wait, before you jump in.
Yes.
I don't care.
Okay.
All right. Let's just put that out there
Oh, man.
first.
Am I
Are you a
attacked?
caramel or a caramel guy?
Oh, I am caramel. I've never been
right.
No, I'm a caramel. I've never been a caramel.
You just read it as caramel, but I assume it's because you were reading it.
Yes, I can't read, Phil. If you haven't noticed, I can't read.
Well, I feel like if you read it quickly, you're gonna. It's you read it as caramel
I read it
for sure.
as it shows.
Right.
That's why I butcher so many people's names. It's because the names have different dialects and tones to them. That if it's not read to me, and if I don't hear it, I'm gonna read it how it looks.
And that's why I wanted to bring it up. I'm caramel as well,
Caramel,
so I wanted to see what you were because you read a caramel. So I was just checking in. Where which team you were on?
Host, Phil.
Which team? I don't care which team. I was just curious.
Yeah, I'm on your team now, Phil.
All
I
right.
will always be on your
Team Caramel.
Let's move forward to week 4 in the NLL. I did really bad. You did really good. We're back tied, and we're kicking that
Thank
dumb producer down to last place. Suck it, producer Pat. You and I are both tied for first. I think it's one game over 500, so not great, but not bad. You went 3-1 this week. I went 1-3. None of my upsets happened, and the first one here was Philly over top of the Vegas Desert Dogs, 15-9. It was 4-4 after one. Las Vegas actually had a lead in the early second, 5-4, and then that went down the dumps. Philly, I want to see you against another team. You faced two Vegas teams, or Vegas twice in a row now.
There you go.
Yeah, I want to see against other competition to see if this offense can get going. But Rezatair's 4-9-13, Katoni 3-2-5, Jones 1-6-7, O'Neal 2-2-4. The offense looks great, and you got the mood behind him, making 35 of 44 saves. Vegas, I don't know what to do with you anymore. Like, there might be need of a change. And as much as I would love Sean Williams, and we didn't even mention it on the last show, but the Tucker Out Lymphoma Cup that they got going on, absolutely love it. It's another incentive through the league. For those that haven't really dug into it, I would definitely dig into it, because it's not like it's not something that affects the regular season standings. It's just another added bonus to the NLL. It's a nice incentive to bring more awareness to childhood cancer, and I absolutely love what Scott Loeffler and Sean Williams and Glenn Clark and whoever else involved with the Buffalo Bandits, the Las Vegas Desert Dogs, and the Albany Firewolves. I know all three of those teams are included because Buffalo was the spearhead of Tucker Out Lymphoma Night. You got Sean Williams, Tucker's dad, who's coaching in GM out in Vegas, and then his big brother Dyson is playing in Albany. So I absolutely love the incentive there. I heard it's a really nice cup as well. I'm looking forward to seeing what the cup looks like. But yeah, that's going to be another fun thing to track. But like I said, Las Vegas, don't really know what the plan moving forward is. Donville's really not. He had 3 assists in this one, but he's not performing the way he probably was going to, or as expected in the dispersal draft, being number 2 overall. The other young draft picks really haven't worked out. Kells has struggled multiple games now, besides that one electric one where he made, 58 saves. It's not looking good in Vegas. You got Saskatchewan moving to 3-0 after a 14-12 victory over Rochester. Rochester 5-4 after half. And then Saskatchewan would score 9 of the next 11 to go up 13-7. With 10:40 to go, Rochester would get it back to 13-12 with 4:55 to go, but they could not push it over the edge. Saskatchewan played without Robert Church in this one. Shanks, nice game, 4-3-7. Mans, 3-3-6. Some other rookies, Haley, Zawada, Anderson, all chipped in on offense. You had Sciliano, another good game, 35 of 40 saves. And then Rochester, I don't know what's up with Fields this year so far. He struggled again in this one, shooting the ball, 1 goal on 11 shots. Smith was there with 3 goals. Then Hutchcraft got pulled. It's not his fault in any of these losses. They just need better players in front of him. Halifax drops to 0-3. Colorado moves to 3-1 with their 19-14 win. They led 11-6 at halftime. Halifax would cut it 11-8 midway through the third, and Colorado would just pull ahead again. Malcolm, 7 goals in this one. Their offense just looks absolutely filthy. Pat on the back to me, I call it. Ward, again, looks really, really good in net. A few of those ones were late. Can't really blame him. 40 of 53 saves. Halifax, man, I don't know what to do. Theed, who I love, 3, 4, and 7, but 33 penalty minutes. They have the whole ordeal of what happened after the game, which is still very unclear. The league's looking into it, fighting with fans. You did this last year with David Brock.
2 years in a row.
Yeah, this is 2 years in a row that your players can't. I understand that you can only yell so much onto the field, and there's lines that you can't cross. But there's a line that you can't cross as players, and that's in getting into the stands. It's just that can't happen. Hill got pulled really quick into this one, 10 minutes in. Good for Micah Kersey pulling Hill. He's not been good. Hutchison played pretty well, 31 of 45 saves. And then Georgia versus San Diego, the big game that we were on tap for. Georgia 11-8 victory. 4-4 at half. Georgia would outscore San Diego 4-1 in the third. That's the difference. Lyle 3-2-5. Bomberry 3 goals. Cole 3-2-5. Then San Diego, their offense just disappeared. This was O'Reilly's best game, 33 of 43 saves, but their offense, besides Benny, who scored half the team's goals, it's just Jackson had no goals. McIntosh had 2. Berg and Hellier 1, 3, and 4. Berg's been very, very quiet this year, and it's a little concerning to me.
All right, I will go back to the top down to the top. Bottom top, Georgia, San Diego. Do we think Georgia is the new Toronto? Like, is that what we're dealing with Dobson playing amazing, their defense playing amazing, and their offense? We have not seen it once where they can put up goals to a high degree. I mean, they're putting up enough goals to win, but they seem like the team that's going to not score a lot, but not allow you to score any, and that's how they're going to win, like Toronto used to be really good at. I don't know. Like, I want to say they scare me because Dobson has been shown to be one of the best in the league and has shut down Buffalo a couple times now. So if their defense and Dobson can keep playing like this, they can beat anybody, especially with Lyle when he just pulls off insane goals on a weekly basis. But their offense at some point, like, that's a kind of game that I would love to see Buffalo in, to see what the Bandits' high-powered offense and defense looks like against a Georgia. Can Georgia's offense be better than the Bandits' offense and vice versa? So that game could be interesting. Benny looked incredible for San Diego. He looks really, really good. Like you said, the rest of the offense kind of disappeared, but Benny looks fantastic. I wish, maybe he could have came to Buffalo to be a lefty forward. Wouldn't have hated it. I know it's not what Buffalo needs, but I would have been okay with it. Colorado's offense looks terrifying. Malcolm's goals were pretty much all by himself. Like, there were a few good setups, but a lot of them he just charged in, took control, and scored no matter where he was shooting from, what he was doing. He looked really, really good. That offense scares me a lot. That's another team that I would love to see against Buffalo just to have fun. I like playing the top teams in the league and seeing how the Bandits stack up, and that's another one that I would love to see how the Bandits' offense or defense really stacks up against a high-powered, big-body offense. They have a lot of big guys on that offense as well, so they'll be interesting. Like you said, Halifax, I don't know what they are. Not great, as we predicted, so we'll just kind of move on from them. Rochester, they're also looking very scary early on. This is not the team that is kind of playing streaky. They're not really coming up with that streak. They did bounce back in this game. They looked okay. They almost came all the way back. They played better at the end, and Saskatchewan won another close game. They seem to be really good at it to start, but I mean, I don't know what Rochester is either. They're going to have to go on a run real soon if they want to get back into it, and next week doesn't seem like it's going to be the week to start a run for them. Saskatchewan, looking solid so far. Like you said, even in this game, no Church, one of their best players, to not have him and still look this good. Pretty solid. Chiliano's looking pretty strong in net. Vegas is not very good at lacrosse, and Philly is interesting. Their offense has looked good. Their offense has a lot of star power on it, and if Damoud can play better, he looked good in this game, but there were still a lot of goals he was giving up that are unlike him, and I still think he needs to step up a little bit more. But if he can start locking things down a little bit better and this offense can keep doing what they're doing, they could be a dark horse, pretty scary team. I would like you said, like to see them against some actual goaltending and defending and competition to see how they do, but they are a decently put together team right now, I would stand. So they could be a dark horse, interesting team.
Yeah, 4 games finished up week 4. Week 5 looks ahead. I think we got 6 games on the docket, all of them, I believe, on Saturday. And we'll be in attendance.
Looking at 5 on Saturday.
5 on Saturday. You got any on Sunday, or is it just 5 total?
Upcoming games, 5 total, 7. or
Okay.
7. I
I
don't
was
know
off
where
by
I
one.
just said 7. On Saturday, yes.
I was off by one. We'll have to
You're good.
catch up on those games when we get home Saturday night, Sunday morning, because it'll be a late night watching the banner raising ceremony. Although it might not be that late because the game's at 6:30 instead of 7:30. Adjust
Which is
your
nice.
commute because
Daylight savings.
yeah, I feel like some people might
Fall
be
back
missing it and
1
not
hour.
be aware that the game's at 6:30, not 7:30. But we will break that game down on the next episode. Phil, I'm keeping an eye on the. Currently, John's kicking my butt. Justin Jefferson went nuts, and my team has stunk. He's up by 42 points. I got Mike Evans, Green Bay's defense, and he's got Tampa Bay's defense still playing. And Tampa Bay is losing 10-0 in the second quarter. Nothing really.
They're doing
happens
horrible
so far. Yeah, Phil's on the edge of losing against Texas John as well. But let's get back into a good mood here, Phil. Fun times. We did our BSC and Buffalo Battle Royale holiday version last show. You kicked my butt. It's embarrassing. Don't even like talking about it, and that's why I couldn't show my face on the screen the whole draft. But now we're going to do another draft, and they were like, it's more fun to kind of work together to build a top 10 list. So we're going to be the top 10 holiday movies of all time. I don't know how exactly our rankings are going to go together. Did you build a top 10 list?
Yeah, I think my end of the list is pretty all over the place.
That's where mine
let's
was,
see.
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My top 7 are solid. And then 8, 9, 10. There's a lot of options for those kind of mixed in. We'll see how it goes down.
I am as well. I think I got a solid 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7 is very good, but I think it's not as popular with a lot of people. And then 8, 9, 10 is just off the boards. It brings back memories to me. And then there's one that I just couldn't leave off the top 10 for certain reasons. But I guess we'll work together to build a top 10 here. Phil, what was your number one holiday movie of all time? And do we have the same one, I guess?
We don't.
Okay.
Your number one's up there for me. It's my top 3. It's in my top 3. But
That's good.
my number one is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
That one's my 4.
I really like it. I feel like it's something you can throw on, not pay attention to, and there's so many like mini stories and scenes throughout the movie that it's like it's a really good background comedy. Like you're wrapping gifts or something, throw it on. You can look up and catch a hilarious moment at any moment, and then look down and not pay attention and still not miss much. I really like that one. It's I don't know. It's a good it's a good movie. It's a good movie.
I'm trying to break down how's the best way to handle this. Do you want to give your top 3? I'll give my top 3, and then we can build a top 3 and then go from there.
Sounds great. My top 3. Not your top 3.
That's going to make this a little bit more difficult then.
I have National Lampoon's Home Alone and Elf. Those are my top 3.
Okay, my top 3. My number 1 is Elf. My number 2 is The Grinch with Jim Carrey, not the animated
Just
version.
watched that
And then number
today.
3 is A Christmas Story. I love A Christmas Story. So
All
we
right.
both have Elf in our top 3. I do have National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation at number 4. So if you're willing to leave Elf at number 1, we can slide National Lampoon's up to number 2.
All right.
Okay.
All right. I will concede that.
Okay.
I do
I'm
have.
rewriting this list because we need to send it to producer Pat for the graphic.
I do have Christmas Story, 2, 3, 4, 5 as my 6. I don't know where I was going with it. I had a plan to bargain with you, and I lost all of it. It's gone.
you have Home
think
Alone
I think my plan was going to be to swap 3 and 4, Christmas Story 4, National Lampoon's 3, to get Christmas Story in the next set of 3. I don't have the Grinch that high though. That one's going to hurt me.
I'm willing. I do like.
Why
Home
do you
Alone.
have Home Alone lower?
I don't know. I probably should have. So my number 5. We'll go with this. I'll give you. I'll run through my whole top 10. Let's run through
boy.
our whole top
All
10
right.
so everybody kind of knows what it's looking like.
to
My number 1 is Elf.
Launch some
Number
things.
2 is The Grinch. Number 3 is A Christmas Story. 4 is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. So we already moved Elf number 1, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is number 2. They're not locked in on pen, but we can adjust. But my number 5 is A Muppet's Christmas Carol, and I might have that one a lot higher than most people. I might have that one on the list, and you might not have it at all. I just that's more of memories of watching it as a child over at my uncle's house. Number 6, I got Home Alone. Number 7, Polar Express. That's just a solid movie. Number 8, I got The Year Without a Santa Claus. I got number 9, A Charlie Brown's Christmas. Both of those ones because my mom would make me sit with my siblings and watch those and just brings back memories. And then in my number 10, because I feel like it needed to be on the list because it's just a great movie that's so underrated, is 8 Crazy Nights with Adam Sandler. It's not child friendly. It's not safe for work, but man, is it hilarious. And I absolutely love that movie.
I feel like we could build a separate, like adult
I agree. Yeah.
adult one. Tampa Bay just had Bucky Irving score a touchdown. That does not help us. Anyway,
Does not help us.
I have National Lampoon number 1, Home Alone number 2, Elf number 3. I was going to put it as Muppets Christmas specials because there's multiple Christmas specials. And I did have Muppets Christmas Carol as 4.
Okay.
But I was going to put it as Christmas specials. There's another one. I forgot what it's called, but it's my favorite Muppets Christmas one, which is hilarious and underrated, but I'd have to look up exactly what it's called. After that, which you don't have listed, I have It's a Wonderful Life.
I knew you were going to have that. I knew you were going to have that.
good.
I hate that movie.
It's a good movie. Anyway, then there's Christmas Story, Polar Express. I did have Grinch. I said which one. You have Grinch 2000. I do like the classic Grinch, but it's so short. It's real short. And then I will give you... Where are we at now?
You're at number 9. What's your number 9?
All right, I'll give you Charlie Brown for sure. And I do have Year Without Santa Claus on here as well. So I will take that one. My, I guess, honorable mentions for 10, because there's a few. I don't know if I'm going to agree with your 8 Crazy Nights. I have seen it. I do like it.
Movie.
I have Rudolph in general. I've seen that like a
that on
billion
my
times.
list. I do have that on my list.
Garfield's Christmas and Garfield's holiday specials are underrated. Santa Claus Come to Town with the Burgermeister.
I got that one.
Fantastic. And then The Santa Claus with Tim Allen. I did
Yes.
like that one.
I got that one on my short list. I got How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the animated one, Frosty the Snowman.
Yep.
And
I do have Frosty Snowman, but I've never really been a big fan of that one. I have seen it.
Yeah, it's
enough
just
times,
honorable. It's honorable. It's up
Yeah.
there.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
So let's see here. You have Polar Express 7. I have Polar Express 7. So are we both good to lock? Oh, I'm sorry. I just hit my mic. Are we good to have that one locked in at our number 7?
Back-to-back episodes, PK has hit his microphone. He's getting used to
Trying
the
to
new
get
setup.
adjusted. This is on my left-hand side now. I'm not used
But
to
yeah,
that.
so we can lock that in at 7. I think my brother's
Okay.
going to be upset and call it a little low, but we'll go 7.
Polar Express. Is it the Polar Express?
I think it's the.
The Polar Express. This is great for listening audiences. Okay, so Polar Express is locked in at our number 7. I believe you had Charlie Brown at number 9.
I am wearing
I
a
also had
Peanuts
Charlie Brown at
t-shirt,
number 9.
so there we go.
We'll lock that one at number 9 since we both agree.
Lock it in.
Charlie Brown Christmas.
Yeah, Garfield, Christmas, and Halloween and Thanksgiving, brutally underrated. I don't know why Charlie Brown got so commercialized and so much higher on the list than Garfield. But if you've never seen the Garfield holiday specials, go check them out. They're hilarious. And, yeah, very underrated. All three of them are pretty solid.
So you have Home Alone number 2. I have Home Alone number 6. I am good with moving that up to number 3. And we can put a Muppets Christmas Carol at number 4.
I'll take it. I also have Muppets Christmas Carol at 4. So
Home Alone at number 3 and a Muppet Christmas Carol at number 4. So far, locked in. We still got 4 spots left, but we're sitting with Elf at number 1, which is just Unbelievable movie. Number 2 is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Absolutely love it. It's probably for a little bit more of a older audience than Elf, but neither one of us are parents, so who the heck do we know? Number 3 is Home Alone. I used to want to do a lot of the things that...
Say also arguably for a little bit more of an adult audience.
Yes, Muppets Christmas
violence.
Carol locked in at number 4. Number 5 and number 6 are still wide open. Number 7 is Polar Express because we both had that one at 7. Number 8 is wide open. A Charlie Brown Christmas is number 9 because we both had that at number 9. And number 10 is wide open. Let's see where we cross paths again. Christmas Story, we both have that one. I have it at 3. You have it at 6. We have The Grinch. You have it number 8. I have it number 2. And that might be the last one that we agree with. That we have both. Year Without Santa Claus. I have it at 8. You have it 10. So I guess we have 3 more with 4 spots to go. So do we want to put A Christmas Story at number 5? You have it at 6. I have it at 3. I do not mind dropping it below A Muppet Christmas Carol.
But do you want Grinch at 5 or do you want Christmas Story at 5?
See, I have the Grinch at 2, so I would fight
do.
to have that one up all the way up 2. But I don't mind if you put the Grinch at 2 and keep the Christmas Story at number 6, because I think the Grinch, to me, which based on my rankings, I like it more than a Christmas Story in my opinion.
All right, so 5 Grinch, 6 Christmas Story, then we're on to 8, which is going to be big. 8, I think we can do Year Without Santa Claus. Flying through this list now. And then we got about 19 honorable mentions for number 10. I did see on the IMDb list of 100 Christmas movies, Terrifier 3 recently came out. That was, I think, top 50. So just say it if you want to consider Terrifier 3 as a top 10.
Yet. So I will say one thing. I am very shocked that the what was your Jack Skellington show?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, I'm shocked you did not have that on your list.
It's hard. I don't know. It's always, the question is it Christmas? Is it Halloween? A lot of people say it's just both. So you can watch it from. I watch it year-round personally, but, the average person can watch it September through December because it's both holidays. Personally, because he's a skeleton the whole time, I'm going to lean it more toward Halloween, even though he does steal Christmas and it's the main kind of theme of the movie, but I'm leaving it more as a Halloween film than I am a Christmas film, and I feel like you wouldn't have added it to your top 10 at all, so I was just going to let it go and keep it more Christmas-themed than Nightmare Before Christmas is.
Okay, so we still got 10 open. Let's run through the top 9 real quick and see if we're still good with how we have it ordered, because that did fill out a lot quicker. We got number 1 at Elf. We got number 2 is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Number 3 is Home Alone. Number 4 is A Muppet Christmas Carol. Number 5 is The Grinch. Number 6 is A Christmas Story. Number 7 is The Polar Express. Number 8 is A Year Without Santa Claus. And number 9 is A Charlie Brown Christmas. Do you like the order? Do you see anything that you would want to move up or down? Or are we good with the top 9?
My top 3 are in the top 3. Wait, my top 4 are in the top 4. So I'm good there. You're clearly against It's a Wonderful Life, so I will leave that off. That's okay.
I hate it. It's too old. Don't care. Irrelevant. Don't like it. Black and white. Gross.
They have a color version, first off.
I don't care. Can make it 3D and give me free chocolate, and I will not watch it.
No one's ever seen this movie, but Robbie the Reindeer, if you have a chance, check that one out ever.
Not seen it.
Fantastic. It is like a claymation, 30-minute British movie about the son of Rudolph. It's amazing. Hilarious. Americans did like a sequel, and like Britney Spears was one of the voices at some point. I don't know. It got weird. The American one wasn't as good. I missed the British accents and everything. The British one was better, but fantastic movie. Go watch it. Anyway, we're on 10.
Let's go over some options here. We got
we got a lot.
I do like it. It wasn't on either of ours top 10, but it is both on our.
It's classic at this point as well.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was up there. Santa Claus is Coming to Town was up there. You had what else? I had
Frosty
Eight
was
Crazy Nights. I
around.
know that's probably not going to make the list, but I wanted to give it a shout out as well. So I guess what
This
was
is a tough one.
A Wonderful Life is the only one left off your list, and Eight Crazy Nights is the one that was left off my list.
So
Otherwise,
that's fair.
The top 9 is the
We'll
same.
we'll each have a what? Not a mulligan, but I don't know. Trying to think of a
Sacrificial lamb.
I guess, yeah, we each have one that we can just kick off the top 10 of each of our lists. I think we each removed one from our top 10, so that seems fair.
That's fair. I did. I wasn't expecting Eight Crazy Nights to make it, but I felt like it needed to be on my top 10.
I mean, I'm throwing out random movies that you just need to be said, like Garfield
if you're
and Robbie
sitting,
the Reindeer.
If you're sitting at home listening to this around opening gifts and around the dinner table, and you're like, oh, Die Hard. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie just because it takes place at Christmas time. I don't care. It's stupid. It's a stupid argument. I think producer Pat is in favor of it being a Christmas movie. It's not a Christmas movie. I don't care. Is he giving gifts to people? I'll be honest. I haven't seen Die Hard in years and years and years. So I don't even remember it. So we're pretty much working with the Santa Claus with Tim Allen. It's a great movie. Or do we want to go more animated version and go more of a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or Santa Claus is Coming to Town? I think those are our three main options sitting here looking at number 10.
I feel like the Santa Claus is more of our childhood.
I agree with that.
So, personally, I think the kid is kind of annoying in that movie.
He is, yes.
He's annoying, which kind of puts a damper on the whole thing, but Tim Allen's great. So, I think I'm leaning Santa Claus. I understand that Santa Claus Coming to Town, classic, Rudolph, classic. But even though I've watched those 100 times, I think Santa Claus is just more our generation. So, I'm leaning toward that. I think Texas John would want Jingle All the Way, and that movie is horrible, and I do not like it. So
that's fair.
That can go away.
I would also be good with the Santa Claus. I really liked it. Did they come up with the Santa Claus 2?
There's 3 or 4 now.
Oh, God, there's 2.
There's at least 3. I think there's 4.
They should have stopped at 1.
Yeah, I've watched 1 and 2, and I've never seen 3. And I think there was a recent 4, and I've never seen that.
I only seen the first one. So
2 was okay. He had to find Mrs. Claus. It was all right.
There's some that should just not make second sequels. It's just it should stop.
Yep.
I am good with putting the Santa Claus at number 10. I think it probably was going to be my number 10 if I didn't include Eight Crazy Nights, but I'm just such a big Adam Sandler guy that I had to give him the honor of that. And a lot of these ones are like Christmas, and that one is more Hanukkah. So I was trying to throw in another holiday included in there rather than just Christmas pretty much top to bottom. But yeah, I like this top 10. I mean, it's not exactly how I had it. It's not exactly how you had it, but I think it's a great blend between us. So number 1, we got Elf, Will Ferrell, classic. I think that's going to be at least top 3 on nearly everybody's list. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I think a lot of people our age or slightly older are going to have that on their top 5, maybe top 3. And I think the younger generation probably might not be able to appreciate what great content that is. But that's sitting at number 2. Home Alone, probably in the same ballpark as Christmas Vacation. Probably our generation was probably one of the last ones to truly appreciate that. A Muppets Christmas Carol. How can the Muppets not be on everybody's top 10, let alone top 4? The Grinch, I still think it's criminally underrated, but I also love Jim Carrey, so I will allow that being at number 5. A Christmas Story, if you haven't seen it, you clearly do not have cable or never seen a TV in front of your life because it's on for like 24, 48 straight hours leading up to Christmas. Great movie. You'll shoot your eye out, kid. I know my wife absolutely hates that movie. The Polar Express is number 7. Number 8 is A Year Without Santa Claus. Absolutely love that one. You know, even though it was 1974, still a great movie. Still
Heat
holds
Miser
up.
And Snow Miser.
Yes. A Charlie Brown Christmas, even older, 1965. That one still holds up as well. And then we're going with the Santa Claus to round out the top 10. Phil, we got 6. What would you call that? Motion pictures and 4 animated ones? What would you call ones that are like real people and not animated?
Yeah, real life. I don't know.
Yeah, real life people Real actors, not voice actors, not animated. That's how we broke it
not
down.
not animated, live action.
animated movie.
I believe is what we're going for.
I believe those are called documentaries. Yeah, these
What?
are documentaries.
What
I'm
are?
just throwing out words
Oh,
at this point.
yeah, I think
but
live action is what you're looking for.
That's fair. That sounds about right. Credit to all of you movie fanatics and
Yeah.
real
Whatever
people out there,
Disney's currently doing with all of their animated movies now coming, I believe it's live action is what we're looking for.
That works. That works.
And
for
then
me.
Year Without Santa Claus, I believe, is stop motion animation, so that's even different. It's not just animation. There's a lot going on here.
You're right. Yeah.
That,
I was-
Rudolph, Santa Claus Coming to Town, they're all stop motion, which is insane, and I don't know who has the patience to do. It's ridiculous. I think Nightmare Before Christmas, if I'm remembering this correctly, it took like 4 years to make, and you're just moving, claymation figures one little step at a time. I don't know who can do it. I'm happy somebody did because I love the movie, but I would just launch the set after day like 17. Be like, I'm done. I mean, we saw it in Parks and Rec when he made like a 2-second video. It took him like 3 weeks. Hilarious. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, we will wrap up this show right now. Phil, is there anything else on this final holiday episode before we look forward to Friday, where we break down the Bandits banner raising ceremony and banner raising night to try to go to 3-0 on the young season?
No, I just hope everyone has a safe, happy holiday. Enjoy it, no matter what you're celebrating. Have a good time. Enjoy friends. Enjoy family. Hopefully you have the day off or at least some time off to enjoy it. And happy holidays.
Yeah, hopefully, like Phil already summed it up, hopefully everybody has a fun, safe, and joyous holiday season. Like he said, whatever you celebrate doesn't matter to us as long as you're having a great time with your loved ones and sharing the holiday spirit. We will be back on Friday previewing Buffalo Bandits versus Rochester Nighthawks, 6:30 face-off on Saturday, banner raising night. Be in your seats. They say 6:10. Be in your seats by 6 o'clock. Make sure you get to the arena early because it is a near sellout. And, traffic down that town. You do not want to be stuck trying to get into one of the parking spots as the banner is going into the rafters for everyone to see. Remember, it does not go where it's normally going to go. It's just going to be raising straight up from where they put it. And stupid me thought it was going to go exactly where it was last time, and I just looked like an idiot. But, yeah, we'll break down that preview versus Rochester on Friday. We'll look around the AFC standings. Buffalo still has a chance at the number 1 seed after their victory on Sunday night. It was Sunday night when they ended up being victorious. We'll see if we check anything off the Sabres Bingo board, and we'll move forward from there. So with that, we'll end this one before the hour mark. Phil, congratulations to us. Have a Merry Christmas, Phil, because I know that's what we celebrate. Thank you all for listening to another episode of the Buffalo Sports Collective. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at Buffalo Sports Collective, and on X and Blue Sky at Buffalo Sports Co. Visit our website at buffalosportscollective.com. Check out our store on our link tree, on our socials, or at the shop tab at the top of the website. Great stocking stuffers there. Follow our channel wherever you listen to podcasts, and make sure you leave us that review on Apple and Spotify. Until next time, bye-bye.